Hello, my darling starshines. This is Christina with Lightbody Therapeutics and lightbodyinc.com. I'm making this video today. It's an impromptu video to talk a little bit about what it looks like when you stick your finger in the spiritual lightning socket. Okay. For those of you that have been on your spiritual journey, your path of awakening for many decades, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is when you are pursuing, seeking high-level teachings, energies, frequencies, transmissions, and such, and you get them. And then when you come home back to your life, your entire world just falls apart. Some kind of personal catastrophic event happens that actually rocks you to your core. It could be a catastrophic financial failure. It could be death in the family, a diagnosis of an illness, something like this, something that just absolutely rocks you and changes your life forever. Okay, this is the spiritual lightning socket. Okay, this is when the frequency comes in like a lightning bolt into your energy field, creates a huge crack. Okay, and then and now you are left to integrate this new sense, this new revelation, these new frequencies that are inside of your body. And the reason why the spiritual lightning bolt happens and the integration process, our life falls apart, is because everything that is not the truth, everything that is not congruent with these high-level frequencies that you just ingested does have to fall away. Okay? It's like having a full Kundalini awakening experience and not being prepared for it. It's like everything that goes against the free flow of that energy falls apart. It literally crumbles. I mean, literally, but I mean, it feels like it just crumbles right before you. Okay? This is the nature of many, many, many spiritual advances that happens in the old paradigm. It's that spiritual lightning socket. Boom, you do it. Everything falls apart. You have to completely reinvent who you are or find out who you are, because who you thought you were just got revealed as being a total lie, and it fell away. And it's very, very painful until one day it's not. And what makes it no longer a painful life meltdown situation, that is when you cross a threshold where the unification with the self, the desire for unification with the self, is the predominant voice inside of you. That means it's not a personality ego voice that's the dominant voice inside of you. It is your core light essence voice that is inside of you that is speaking the loudest, that has your awareness the most. At this point, when you go into these high-level teachings and start digesting these frequencies, it's a much more graceful journey, because you are in touch with the yes inside of yourself, and you are no longer attached to certain identities of who you thought you were. You're more willing to let go of needing to know who you are. Like this, it's like now you're riding the magic carpet riding the magic carpet ride through time, and it's more of an adventure rather than something that you're strapped into and like, oh, what's going to happen next? What kind of trauma is going to come forward next? Okay. Okay. Now in my life, I have stuck my finger in that spiritual lightning socket. At one point in time, I would have said too many times. But now it's not like this anymore, okay? So because the voice inside is more in the yes of uniting with self. Now this is an old paradigm pattern, okay? In the new paradigm frequencies, this kind of trauma, I'm gonna call it trauma, this kind of shock of losing ego facets, like having the carpet ripped from underneath you, the shocking moment, it doesn't need to be like this anymore. And this is part of the reason why I love working with the 20-somethings, because I can just spend a weekend with them and remove some veils, show them who they are, and they're off like a skyrocket into their next level of being. Awakening these folks is just a matter of giving them certain pieces, okay? And those that choose to study much longer, on a longer term with me, and doing this acceleration work, this multi-dimensional acceleration work, they end up skyrocketing as well. It's just oftentimes that we're part of the reason why it's a journey to get there is because we have to unlearn things that we've learned. So if you have been initiated into a bunch of, when I say bunch, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, because I understand being initiated was part of the process, part of the awakening process in the old paradigm. But when you have a bunch of initiations and teachings that you were given that you full on said yes to and fully believe in, it's like those teachings were that of the old paradigm and they had limitations. So we are faced with the challenge of letting go of what we think we know. Okay? And as soon as, and you can tell when you've let go of what you think you know, because when you hear frequencies or hear words or concepts or are exposed to frequencies that bounce up against a belief system, you recognize it, you feel it in your body, and you're like, whoa, that totally goes against something I deeply believe in. Okay? And you, once you recognize it in that context, then you can look at that belief as a construct, not be attached to it, and you can allow it to dissolve and let these other new frequencies from the sun and the cosmos come in and create a new platform for your experience. Okay, what does it look like? So the spiritual lightning socket is still something to be cautious of. Cautious in that you need to be really aware of why you're saying yes, why you're pursuing these lightning bolts, okay? If you are pursuing these lightning bolts so you can become more, have more of a competitive edge in your practice, or be better than, you know what I mean? Like be more powerful, have more abilities. Okay, if you're coming from that place and that place is anchored in your personality, in your ego structure, you are going to most likely have a lightning bolt experience and a fallout afterwards. Okay, but if you are saying yes with the core of who you are, free of that, I mean, yes, you do end up being more powerful. Yes, you do end up with super enhanced skills and tracking abilities and all this stuff. And yes, all this stuff will still happen, but your yes is founded in that desire, or that yes is stemming from that desire to be united with self. Okay, then your path will have much more grace and ease to it. Okay, so some of the symptoms of what resistance looks like when you've hit the spiritual, when you not only, I'm going to actually include digesting light codes, because there are many other people besides me doing multidimensional activations and doing acceleration work. The entire planet has gotten a download on how to accelerate human consciousness, and those with the ears open and the eyes to see have received that download, and they're implementing these techniques. Okay, so what it looks like when you're going through the acceleration process, some of the symptoms of resistance to the acceleration, okay, this is like resistance to the integrating the soul and essence pieces that are coming back to you. It'll feel like fatigue. It will feel like fibromyalgia. It'll feel like constant migraines. It will be a total emotional meltdown, feeling like you're out of control and in despair. It's like all these pieces, that's what it looks like to have that resistance as the primary frequency, okay, as you digest these light codes. So the reason why I wanted to make this video is so I can impress upon everybody out there who is on that accelerated path to examine your motivations. Make sure that you are in touch with that heart's desire for unification with self. Okay, really be honest and examine. Because if you are doing this because you want to be powerful for the lust of power, for you wanting to be better than other people around you, you are in for a rude awakening, because that is not the truth of who you are. That is a personality. That's an ego level of separation. Okay, not that you need no ego, because ego is extremely important. To have a healthy ego, that means it's one that is in alignment with the true expression, radiance of who you are. That kind of cultivation of ego is extremely healthy and required in this world. Okay, you need to be able to hold your own space, not collapse into self, like not be mousy, but really hold your own space and radiate outwards, and not be fearful of how others may judge or reject you. Okay, so there's different layers to this, but primarily when it comes to acceleration, okay, when it comes to accelerating your light body frequencies or any other kind of acceleration, multidimensional awakening like this, you need to be in touch with why you're doing it, to really be in touch with the heart level sincerity of wanting to unite with self. One of the other patterns that I recently have found is that people want power, not for power's sake, but so they can avoid their own pain, so they can end their own suffering. Okay, and I understand why. I mean, who wants to suffer, right? But that dynamic, that's a distortion. Okay, that is a distortion that's still based in personality ego levels. Okay, that's based in the ideas of separation. Because what this acceleration process does, it removes the veils that keep us separate, keep us living in a bubble, a sense of being separate from others. Okay, so true unity consciousness, okay, is not the prevalent, or I'm sorry, I'm saying this backwards. With the acceleration process, what it does, it brings true unity consciousness as the prevalent state of being. That means what happens on the other side of the globe, I feel it, I'm aware of it, and I am involved. I am taking action because I understand how this and this are connected. Okay, I feel myself breathe with the trees. I can feel myself flowing with the rivers. Okay, there is no separation between me and anything else. And the cells that in the atoms and molecules that come together to make this computer. Okay, I'm not separate from that. I'm not separate from the cells in this or not the cells, but you know what I mean, the molecules of this desk. It's like that's how extreme the sense of unity becomes. The more accelerated, the more you step into the truth of who you are. The compassion comes naturally. I don't need to tell myself to have compassion. It is just there because what this person is going through is the same thing that they are going through it, therefore I'm going through it. Okay, so all the pain I see outside of myself exists, and then I can go inside and find where that pain exists within me, and then it's no longer out here. Okay, so just my little rant about the spiritual lightning bolt and being mindful and being respectful of these frequencies and of these light codes. They are very potent. You may not feel a lot in the moment of taking it in and digesting it, but trust me, it has a huge impact on the quality of your experience from that moment on. Okay, so don't take it lightly. Take it very, very seriously, in that by inviting this lightning bolt, by inviting this light code into my body, I am saying yes to transformation, of letting go of who I think I am. You are, in essence, taking the red pill. You know, the red pill as in the Matrix, the one that pulled Neo out of the Matrix. Okay, you are taking the red pill when you're saying yes to your multidimensional activation and to digesting these light codes. Okay, so be respectful and understand that you are responsible for yourself from that moment on. You are responsible for that unfoldment. So if you take this red pill and then you're consumed by victimhood, okay, that's you not being responsible for yourself. That's you buying into being separate from everything else. Okay, I'll make another video about separation. All right, I love you, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. This is Christina with Lightbody Therapeutics and Lightbody Inc. Bye-bye.